I might do that over because Stacy gave me this and now I'm chewing on it.
I believe that's when Stacy went to hangers.
Clothes hangers. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it is where you are, for us is afternoon. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is just Shay and Friend. This is my mother, Sharon. Say hello, mother. Introduce yourself.
Hello. I am Sharon Kaysen, Stacy's grandmother, of course, Shayla's mother.
Y'all been asking for a long time for Grandma to come and answer these questions, honey. Please tell our friends at what age range did Stacy live with you?
Actually, I babysitted when he was first born. And then I believe you moved to Newport News.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, Stacy came back to me at 2 years old.
Mm-hmm. 2 years old, okay.
The first problem we saw with Stacy was not, Stacy was a handful. So first problem we saw is that he would not sleep.
Mm.
And so the first thing we did was put a radio in his room. And I turned on the gospel station and turned the music on all night long. And that's when Stacy was able to go to sleep. That was he was about 2 years old. He would get up in the middle of the night and go and get into stuff and get into the refrigerator, and he would be busy. He would be very busy.
All day and all night.
All day and all night.
No
Stacy
breaks.
was very busy.
Yes, very busy. I can attest to this. I can attest. But you know, I don't know about you, but I just assumed he was being a boy.
Yes.
I just assumed that. So we'll talk about that later, Mom.
Okay.
So our first question comes from Kim Ortiz, 8465. Hey, Kim. Thank you for commenting, by the way. Hi, huge supporter of you and Stacy. My son is 5 and has autism. He's nonverbal and depends on me for about everything. I admire your patience and respect for your son. And my questions are, 1, how did you cope with him having autism?
Oh, you need a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
You need a lot of support. He always carried around a fork. And he kind of bent it. And the fork was just sticking out like that. And so when I tried to take the fork away, Stacy would have a fit. So this is in the doctor's office and everything. So I had to end up making sure he had that fork. But then the doctor said, well, this is too dangerous for him to carry around. So, I mean, this is at 2 years old. He was strong. He bent that fork and carried that fork everywhere until the doctor said, well, this is not a good idea. And if I took it, he would have a fit. And
don't nobody have time for fits.
And all falling out in the doctor's office and standing up on stuff. So I let him have the fork.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would have too. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. We give in sometimes.
So after that, we used, he started using hangers and taking everybody's clothes off the hangers in the coat closet, and everybody's clothes was on the floor. And so the thing about the clothes hanger, he would stand that straight up too. So, I mean, the fork was bent, but the clothes hanger would be standing straight up. Mm-hmm. And so we had to wean him off of that.
It wasn't safe.
It was not. So a lot of times it was difficult to cope with I believe the things he was stemming with. This is what, and so
special interests, they like to call them.
Yes, special interests. So we finally got Stacy to the chopsticks.
Oh yes, chopsticks.
Remember the chopsticks?
Yes.
But everywhere we went, every restaurant we went to, Stacy would go and pull out the chopsticks and take a whole bunch home.
Now it's a meltdown.
But the chopsticks were actually safer than the hanger and the fork.
I think so too.
So, but you need a lot of support from your family.
Yes.
Because every now and then somebody needs a break, and Granddad was there too to help me with Stacy to have a break because Stacy was up early in the morning. Yeah. Very early in the morning. He didn't sleep a lot, but he would get up early in the morning. He would and he would turn over his TV. We had the little small TV.
Oh, I remember.
Yes,
is that when Dad built that?
Yes.
Okay.
Built a what was the cabinet and mounted the TV to the cabinet because Stacy would turn it over. He would turn over his bed. So we ended up taking the bed out of the room, and I went to CHKD. And they gave me therapeutic mats. Remember those blue mats?
Yes, I do. Easy to clean.
Yes, for the wall and for him to sleep on. And so it's difficult to answer the question. It's difficult to cope if you don't understand, especially if they're nonverbal and you don't understand what they're trying to say.
I understand completely what you're saying. With your question, how did you cope? I believe Mom is saying, and if you don't mind me paraphrasing, that she just had a lot of support. She asked for help a lot. And as far as the doctor with the therapeutic mats, like some of y'all don't even know the services y'all have at y'all hands. Ask your doctors. Now, I can't tell you because they're different everywhere, but go to your doctor and say, hey, look, I'm having this problem. They're probably going to be like, oh, we got this. Just ask. So support of the family, asking for help from the doctors and therapists or whoever. Just asking for help. That's how you cope.
Yes. Get as much support as you can. I remember when Stacy started going to school at 3 years old. And he had a problem on the school bus. And so they would put the harness, because Stacy was so busy, they would put the harness on Stacy. And by the time he got to school, that he had a complete meltdown. So I ended up having to take Stacy to school every day until I went to CHKD and they gave me a car seat.
Remember, the special car seat.
Special needs car seat. Stacy would get out of the regular car seat and they gave me a special.
Houdini.
And that's what he was doing on the school bus. And so they had put the harness on that he couldn't get out of. So CHKD gave me 2 special needs car seats, one for my car and one for the school bus.
Mention that one of my good friends just posted a video about her son. Also, he's 5 or 6, but also he's getting out the car seat too. She got to stop on the side of the road to put him back. But yes, she as well got one of those car seats. Look, y'all ask these people, they got the stuff.
Yes.
They got the stuff. She get free pull-ups for her 5 years, for the rest of however long he need pull-ups. Free. You got to ask these people.
Yes, you do.
You got to ask. The second question Kim asked, did you ever get sad knowing he had autism?
What I got sad at was the things that he did. That I couldn't help him with. Now, I'm going to give you another example.
These stories.
Every morning.
He said, don't tell it, Mom.
He said, be quiet. Every morning, Stacy would poop on himself. Okay?
Yeah, he said.
And he didn't want it on. He didn't want the pull-up on. He didn't want the diaper on. So he would take the diaper off. And when he took the diaper off and I would come there in the morning in the room and look at him, Stacy had poop all over his face, all over the walls, all over the mats.
We call that poop Picasso online because it's not just us. The other kids doing it too.
Yes.
That's poop Picasso.
And so I would just sit down and cry. And Granddad had to come and clean the mess up before he went to work.
That's what you're saying, Dad. My dad was like,
he came and cleaned it up before he went to work. And this is every morning. Every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning.
And I complained about the one time I had to clean it up.
Every morning.
I'm sorry.
He's 2, he's 3.
At that time.
3. And 4, because by then I began to train him to the pot. And so the doctors, they tell me, well, you probably don't need to do that. He's not going to use it. But I said, yes, he is. So I just treated him like every other child, any other child. All of my children were trained. So I said, Stacy, you're going to have to go to the bathroom.
You're going to have to. You got to.
Because we can't keep, I can't keep having a meltdown because you got poop all over the place. And then we got to clean all that up. And every morning, it was every morning. So I started training him to the potty.
I do believe that it took a long time. I know for a fact it took a long time because after I joined the military and he came to live with me, I had to continue with the training. So a lot of people are like, how did you do it? How did you do it? But Stacy really wasn't fully potty trained until about 10 years old.
Right.
So Mom, you say you started at 3.
Yes.
And he really wasn't trained until about 10. So if you're having these issues, like, do not feel bad. Don't feel bad, okay? Because it's hard for everybody. And that answers the next question. Was it hard on Mom? Obviously.
It was hard on
everybody. It was hard on everybody.
But we had the uncles. We had Uncle Sharon and KK.
That's right.
We had the aunt.
Your village.
Aunt Donita, Aunt Mika.
Your village.
Aunt Nia especially, because she was working in that field. So she knew more than we did, So, and then we just rallied together.
Yes.
Aunt Sarah. Unji, we just rallied.
They know Auntie Sarah. She came over and did the Korean barbecue.
Awesome. So she was very instrumental in being a help. Aunt Keisha, as well, and all of them would everybody rallied together.
You know what, Mom? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember anybody that was in our circle that treated Stacy different than the other kids.
No,
I don't remember.
No,
and I think that's key. Yeah. Like, obviously you have to, change things a little bit. Maybe you have to explain a little bit more. Like, for example, if I want to tell Heaven something, I would probably just tell her. But if I want to tell Stacy, I would have to change it in a way, slower talk, watch my face, watch my tone. All of those things matter. But at the same time, I'm still explaining things to him.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving him out because he's autistic. So these are the things we have to remember. We didn't treat him any differently.
No.
I don't think we did.
And the good thing about it is the cousins.
I love y'all so much.
Took care of Stacy.
We love y'all so much.
Especially Tanaya. And the cousins just took care of Stacy so much. And Mia. Mia and Kylie. And they just love Stacy. And Micah, she was always taking care of Stacy as well.
Yeah,
so
everybody,
the cousins
even
really were there.
Little ones take care of Stacy.
Yes, the little cousins.
The babies walk up. Shalom babies walk up to Stacy and they just like, "What you need, Stacy?" He said, "Get him this."
Right, they would interpret it for us.
Yes. Oh, I love you guys. If y'all watching, y'all the best. Okay, inclusion counts. It matters. Inclusion matters. When something was going on with the cousins, you know how we do, y'all. You know how Black people do. We get together, all the kids to one space. Get out of here, this grown folk stuff. And he was included.
Right.
They playing a game, Stacy playing too, even though he might not have been paying attention. But they playing Uno, Stacy playing too. Deal him in, honey.
Yes.
Inclusion matters. I'm glad you touched on that about the cousins, because I will tell y'all kids will be the best ones to teach y'all how to treat an autistic person. Because if you look at them, they're not doing nothing different.
Right.
Kids are the most pure. It's the adults that get weird around them. It's the adults that get weird. I don't know why.
Yeah. But like you said, we didn't have anybody that treated Stacy any different.
No, we did not.
We all rallied together, all of us. If we came together for a family function, I think the attention was more on Stacy because everybody tried to figure out what he wanted.
Yes, he was no tablet at that time.
Right. So I believe he got more attention than the rest, because everybody was saying, "Okay, Stacy, what do you want?" Because he would come and, make noises to us, and we're like, "What are you trying to say?" So,
I will answer this question as well. Did you ever get sad knowing he had autism? For me, yeah, I did, because I thought I did it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I did it. But obviously, after I processed it and years went along the line, I realized that there was no way I could have did that. But I was sad at first. Yes, I had to talk to a counselor, actually. They put me in when I was in the military. When I was in boot camp, I had to talk to a counselor. He's perfectly content the way he is, and he's thriving. So he was supposed to be like that. That's what I think. That's what I think. Argue with your mother. Not my mother. Question is from Gold Paper Clips. And you guys know I already answered this question, but we're going to get mom's opinion. It says, let's talk about discipline. What's right and what's wrong? I know every child is different. I just would like some insight on this. My son is 4, autistic, and extremely smart. He is verbal, and his favorite word is no.
Well, yeah, your first thing to do is to get him to change that no.
Mm-hmm. Thanks,
okay.
Dad.
With the discipline, Granddad was instrumental in more discipline than I was. I let Stacy get away with a lot of stuff.
Granddad was stop, cut it out, but not put it down.
So, but he was the one basically that changed that no into a yes. And sometimes Stacy wouldn't listen.
The tone, Mom.
Yes.
Mom would be like, Stacy, now you know. Cut it out. When in reality, she probably should have been like, no, Stacy, don't do that. But I was the same way because we coddled him. We didn't know how else to do it. Okay? we felt bad. Like he don't know better.
Yeah. A loving grandmother first.
It's to love that man every time. Why you had to say first lady? First.
Because I was taking them everywhere, so they saw me.
It's the love.
Yeah, they saw me, and they saw the love I was giving to him. And so he had this rest of the family, of course, as I just said, love Stacy so much.
Loving grandfather. Dad, we can't leave Dad out. We cannot leave him out, honey. Yes, that loving grandfather, loving sister. See?
Heaven, especially Heaven. She always thought that was her baby. Heaven was very good in discipline.
Yes.
And she still is.
Yes.
She would discipline him more than we would.
She was like Granddad.
She was the disciplinarian.
Yes, we were the, no, don't do that, Stacy. Heaven would be like, put it down.
Yep. No, Stacy.
Sit down now. You're stressing out my. She used to say that all the time. You're stressing out my mommy. Because I would be doing this. Mommy, what's wrong? Your brother's stressing me out. You're stressing out my mommy. Sit down now. And he would go and sit down.
Yeah, she would listen.
To this question, but what is the correct age? I mean, what is the proper age to start discipline with your autistic child, your child, neurodivergent, neurotypical, whoever?
Start from the beginning. Any other child, you know, if they're crawling around and getting into stuff, you know, let them know that, you know, move them away from, redirect them. I did a lot of redirecting.
Yes,
Stacy. You know, not a lot of because if we tell them no, it's gonna be a no. It's gonna be a no from their mouth.
He's gonna copy
if we keep telling them no. So instead of telling them no, just redirect them.
Redirection.
I did I had a training that says don't take anything from the child without giving them something else. So,
I see. This for that.
Yes.
Yes. You can't have this, but you can have that.
Yes. So it's actually giving them time to really have a choice of their own.
When he says no, say yes. When he says no, you can even say anything. Say his name, anything you want him to say more than no.
My favorite was, that is not acceptable.
When the right age to discipline your child. The baby, like I said, okay, the other day, like I said, the baby. That's when is the right time to discipline. And I don't care if the child's autistic, not autistic, whoever. See, that word discipline gets a bad rap. It does sound bad when you say it, but it's not. It's redirection. It's teaching. Autistic or not. They have to go out there and live their lives by themselves. And if you don't teach them when they're kids, they're going to go out there when they're adults, baby adults, and just be out here doing whatever they want and acting crazy, not knowing how to interact with other people. Our third question comes from Nancy B. She says, "Oh, I love that Grandma is doing this interview with you."
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nancy. Of course, I have a lot of questions. What age did y'all start to suspect Stacy might have autism? I think we answered that, didn't we? But Mom can answer again.
Well, Stacy was about 15 or 16 months old.
That's when you started to notice.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I've been in daycare for years.
Okay,
actually,
so you know
from this point on, I've been in daycare for about 40 years.
Certain behaviors.
Yes, so I had a lot of training. So we had to do different trainings every year. So one training we had was the vocabulary. Stacy wouldn't say anything but mama, cup, and bye.
I remember eat too, or eat,
okay,
something
eat.
To that degree.
So it was about, really, if he had 5 words, that was at best. So me being in childcare, I'm like, yeah, Stacy should have about 100 or 200 words
at 15 months
by now.
Really? Yes. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. He should have about 100 words, even if they are not correct. You know what I mean?
Oh, not properly enunciated.
There we go.
Etc. Yeah.
He should know those many words by now, and he should be verbalizing the majority of those words. Because, and then you can look at a 9-month-old, and they can say bye-bye, mama. They can say cup. They can say eat. They can say no. They can say ouch. Even 10, 11 months old, they can say those little words. And even if it is not enunciated right, they can say those words. So I'm not talking about clear words, but they should have about that many words.
And Stacy only had, you said, about 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Okay.
And so that's when I really noticed, and I said it was a problem that I need to take Stacy to the doctor. So when I did take Stacy, he said that Stacy was delayed. And
not that delayed.
Yeah, he said he was delayed. And so I asked him if he could send me to a specialist, developmental
second opinion.
So,
because my mom not taking that. Delayed? What you mean, sir?
It's not just delayed.
Elaborate. Do more tests. Y'all in control. Y'all know that, right? If you don't like what these doctors saying, I don't like this, sir. Send me another doctor.
And he didn't. The doctor was like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's find out what's going on. So he sent Stacy to do the hearing test. And of course, Stacy was not responding to the bells and the things and all of that. So
nothing.
We knew he could hear because when we call his name, he would look our way, or he could hear the smallest whisper.
Yes.
If I said Stacy,
super hearing, he
would run to the room. So he could hear, but he wasn't responding. So he didn't even turn his head or anything. When you hear the bell, turn towards it. And Stacy was just, he was doing his own thing. And so he wasn't responding to anything. And so they had to actually put him to sleep to do a hearing test to monitor his brain waves.
That is good information.
And so when they did that, Stacy would not, they had to put him under. They had to give him an IV.
He said, did medical professionals ignore you? And mom did say the first doctor didn't ignore, but he just gave a bland diagnosis. Yes. Just bland, honey. Get out of here. Get out of my office. He delayed. That's it.
He's delayed, and he'll catch up. But I didn't take that because I had been in daycare so long that I kind of knew that it was more than a delay, because he should have been saying more than 5 words at 18 months.
Right. And a mother knows, a grandmother, mother, whoever. Y'all know. We know. You know when something, not right with the child. So if the doctor's saying it and you're like, I don't know, you should probably just see another one.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody else. Just to check. Just to check. Your grandson talking. What therapies/services did he receive when he was younger? I can tell about what he received with me, but when he was younger, did he receive any services?
He had speech therapy, but he didn't work on his speech. He kind of worked on communicating in another way.
Oh, I see. So and what my understanding was with the speech therapy, because Stacy didn't do speech therapy when he came with me, only in school.
Right.
But my understanding was that it was mainly just trying to get him to talk. So they teach all kinds of communication.
Right.
Okay.
Only speech therapy, occupational therapy.
Okay. When he got a little bit older, a lot older actually, because some of y'all know I didn't know about ABA therapy until about 5 years ago.
Right.
5 years ago, I learned about it, and I was like, "Let's get on this."
Yeah.
He started. I wish we had started younger,
Right.
but what happened, and Stacy's still progressing at a good rate. So I'm not going to dwell on that too much longer. But yeah, he did have ABA therapy around that age, and do I think it helped him? Yes, it's still helping him. Yes. He's still going. Okay. I had to switch up because, we moved a lot throughout the years. I was in the military. So we moved a lot throughout the years. So I had to keep switching up. But he's been going continuously since then. And, he's 19. So he is the oldest person there right now, but he don't care. Okay. He don't care. He loves it because everybody treats him normal. That's
right.
Number one.
Right.
They explain things to him. They teach him how to do things a better way. And right now they're teaching him how to tell time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that is something that I've been struggling trying to teach him. I write it down and then I point to the clock. I did everything I could to teach him, but he's just not getting it. And it's not him, it's me. I'm not a professional. So I talk to the professionals. I say, "Ma'am, can you please help me? Please help me." And then the tie in the shoes, remember that?
Oh.
Anything
that was a job.
Yes, anything you having a hard time with, ask these professionals.
Yes.
I asked Stacy's therapist and she taught him in 2 weeks.
Right.
I was upset a little bit because I was like, man, I've been trying to teach him for years.
Yeah, and she taught him how to leave the house if you hear a fire alarm. Even not the fire alarm, what's that?
The smoke detector.
Smoke detector.
Yes.
She taught him how to leave out the house, but don't cross the street.
Yes.
So we did the whole thing. We went outside the house. She put it on her phone. We went outside the house and stopped at the corner. Do not cross the street.
Oh, so I remember you guys came over for that lesson.
Yes.
You guys came over.
ABA therapy is excellent.
It is excellent. I think so. It's good. Okay. If you don't like something the therapist is doing, you can be like, don't do that no more.
Right.
Don't teach them that no more.
What you want, because that's what the therapist asked me. What are your concerns? What do you want Stacy to learn?
And see, this is the part where a lot of moms freeze up and like, I don't know, just do whatever. No, you need to write it down beforehand, honey.
Right.
And monitor them, observe your child and be like, we need to work on that. Yeah. We need to work on this. Get it together before she asks. If you are not involved in asking your therapist questions, you're doing it wrong because you got to continue when they leave.
Right.
You got to continue. So that was my thing. When I first started the therapy, I was like, this is great. They're doing a great job. And then when you got home, just acted terrible. What are you doing? You was at therapy all day. You learned this. And now you just don't know nothing. Yeah. So I was like, ma'am, I need to know what you're doing so I can continue doing it at home.
Right.
And when everybody started getting on the same page, even in heaven, everybody got on the same page. The ABA was working, honey. Yes. It was working. Yes. Everybody got to be on the same page. This is a loaded question. What, if anything, do y'all wish you would have known and or done for him when he was younger to help him?
What we just talked about. I wish I had known about all the free services.
The free stuff.
I wish I had known about the free services at CHKD, especially CHKD.
Oh, yeah, they do so much.
They have a whole department devoted to special needs. And so I wish I had known about all those services that it took me years to find out. Actually, I found out about it when Stacy had probably been in school now for a while. And somebody handed me, one of the teachers handed me a pamphlet. And I'm like, and most of us do what?
Throw them pamphlets in the trash. We throw it in the trash.
Because we're always receiving something.
Always giving us some stuff.
So I was like, okay, let me see. And I began to read it.
You say you're going to read it this time?
I read it and I called the number and I went in for an interview. and they observed Stacy and saw him doing everything. That's when I got the $3,000 worth of therapeutic mats, car seats, strollers.
Mats, car seats, stroller. We even had a seat for him to sit at the kitchen table.
Yes.
Because he would climb all on the table. What are you doing, sir? Eat your food.
Yes.
Yeah, he had to be strapped down or else he would hurt himself.
Right.
It was a lot of stuff we got free from.
Free.
Yes, free. And mom, that was mom. She was looking up this look. Oh, you say he doing what? Girl, let me find. Mom is on it. And y'all got these services too. Probably more. Because that was how long ago? Probably more services now.
Yeah.
It's 2024. I'm sure there are more services. So yes. That's what mom wishes that she would have known. And same for me. Like I said, I wish I would have took him to ABA earlier, but I didn't know. But you know.
Yes.
Okay? Now you know. That's why I like sharing stuff with my friends. I want them to succeed. And I feel like Stacy and I have succeeded, and you and I and Stacy and everybody else that helped have succeeded. Look at him.
Yes.
Look what he doing.
Yes.
Cooking. You know what he made the other day?
What's that?
He made sausage. But he wanted to make Alfredo. So sausage and pasta. But there is no Alfredo left. Why he make Alfredo from scratch?
What?
Scratch. I didn't teach him that. I taught him how to make cheese sauce, but I never taught him how to make Alfredo. That Alfredo was so salty. It was so salty and garlicky, but he made it from scratch.
So your mama that he used a lot of garlic.
Yes, garlic is his friend. He loved garlic. When he go to the store, he buy a big jar of minced garlic like that. And he don't measure it. Put it in there. But my point is, we have succeeded. He out here cooking he cooked me food. He cooked for heaven. He go to the store, walk around the store by himself. Do we hold his hand?
You can't keep up with Stacy.
No, he don't want it. He don't want it.
You just stay there and wait until he comes back.
That's what I do. I find myself a seat.
That's what I do.
And wait till he come back. Okay?
And when he comes back, I say, "Are you finished?" Okay. Are we ready to check out? Yes. And if he says, "No, we're not ready to check out," so I just stand there and wait.
Sit back down. And he swipes his own card sometimes. See, he don't do it all the time. But he swipes his own card, all of that. He holds his own wallet.
Yes, he does.
You know what I'm saying? These kids can be out here doing great things. They can.
Yes.
Just stop holding them back.
Yeah. That's one thing that we did with the therapist as well. Teach them how to make groceries.
Yes, I remember. That was
we did that.
a few months of that lesson.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He's doing pretty good too.
Yes.
He's doing really good. I mean, he don't follow the list, but I think the list is up here for him. All right, so we are back. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. And at the end of these podcasts, I really just like to give my friends and myself a chance to say last words. Just, something that you want to, a nugget. My mom has a podcast too. Do you still have a podcast?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Sharon Kaysen.
Tell them about it.
And what I do on Facebook is golden nuggets from the Word of God.
That's why I laugh when I said nuggets.
So you can go and listen to the golden nuggets from the Word of God on my Facebook page.
Yes, ma'am. Like and follow my mom on Facebook, Sharon Kaysen. I don't think she's anywhere else.
No.
Facebook is where it's at for our generation. All those other apps are too much.
Yes.
Not we agree on something. We agree on it's too much for me too.
It took me a long time to really do that on Facebook.
But yes, do you have any last word nuggets, Mother, for these mothers and fathers and caregivers out here that have the little ones?
I just want to thank you for tuning in and just for listening and just, being who you are. Because God made each of us special. And each of us have a purpose and a place in this world.
You said what, Mom?
We all have a purpose. We all have a place in this world.
All of us.
And we are here to support and help each other. It's not that we're going to like everything that one person does or everything another person does. but we are here to show our support
Mm-hmm.
and to show our love.
Yes.
And so love is the strongest. The Bible tells us that now abideth faith, hope, and charity. But the greatest of these is love. You can love that child out of anything.
That's one of my favorites from the Bible. I don't remember a lot of them quotes, but that one I like.
You can love them out of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And when that love is there, you can deal with whatever
Yes.
the child is bringing forth.
Yes.
It's difficult sometimes, but when that love is truly there, real, genuine love, you can go through it.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
the greatest gift of all is love.
Let the love lead you. I was going to say something similar. My last little nugget for you guys is something similar. If you lead with love, then the rest will follow.
Yes.
Okay, so I know a lot of y'all are worried about what you should do with your child because, you know, they're autistic, you feel bad, you think they don't know any better. But if you do it with love,
yes,
it's probably right. It's probably right. Okay, now remember that, you know, all the, what is it called, beatitude? Love is this, love is that. What is that? Can you please say that? You know what I'm talking about?
Love, that's in 1 Corinthians 13th chapter. Love is kind, does not behave itself unseemly, is not puffed up. Love does not seek its own. Love seeks others. Love, the greatest gift.
Yeah, just follow that and you're probably right. So don't worry. You got this. You guys got this, okay? You can do it. I did it. I'm still doing it. Okay? You guys can do it. With the help of your fam bam.
That's right.
Or whoever is around you can be your fam.
That's right.
You know, maybe your parents aren't there in this town with you. Maybe they don't live in the same state as you, but whoever is around you is going to be your family.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're treating your child accordingly as, you know, you want, then you should let them help you.
Right.
You should let them help you. And the last thing I can say about letting people help you, y'all need to let somebody babysit for y'all so y'all can get out these houses.
You do need to do that.
Get out this house now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to drive yourself crazy. Get out this house. I know. I went crazy quite a few times, almost every day. But when I started trusting somebody, hey, can you take Stacy for a few hours? It was mom, it was my sister Nia, it was Auntie Sarah, anybody.
Yeah.
Can y'all please? Please. And then when Heaven got 16, Heaven, can you please?
Yeah.
So I can get out the house for a few hours.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it, honey. Nothing wrong. Don't let nobody shame you. Get out that house.
Right.
Get out of it. Okay? And that's my last nugget. All right? I appreciate you guys joining us, me and my mom. We like talking. So we might do another podcast. I don't know. Sure. But if not, listen to my mom's podcast. She has a nice soothing voice.
Thank you.
I like listening to it sometimes when I'm driving. Almost done, buddy. Almost done, okay? Thank you so much for joining us. And please, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Yes. If you want more content like this, I'm going to be doing all the content like this. Autism related, etc. Okay? And you have more questions, put them in the comments. We're going to answer them eventually. We're going to answer them. Okay? Thanks for coming again. Bye.
Bye-bye.